Hey everyone, my name's Emily and welcome to my channel, Love Eats. So today we are going to be making fried chicken sandwiches, and not just any fried chicken sandwich. We're going to be making the Chick-fil-A regular and spicy chicken sandwich along with the signature Chick-fil-A sauce. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off taking my chicken breasts, and they're already washed and dried. What I'm going to do is, obviously since they're too thick, they're not going to cook evenly. What you can either do is cut them down the middle and make them smaller that way, or I'm going to put them in a bag and use a meat tenderizer and make them thinner that way. Okay, so I put my first chicken breast in the bag, leave a little bit of openness for the air to escape, and then we're just going to start. Make it even, because obviously, as you can see, the chicken breast, it tapers down at the end. So it's really about just thinning out the big part at the top. And then once you think it's about even all throughout, I'm going to take it out. And as you can already see, compared to the other one, we flattened it quite a bit. And now I'm just going to continue with the rest of the chicken breasts. Okay, so now that I have completely thinned out all the chicken breasts and they're all in even thickness, I'm basically going to cut them, clean them up a little bit, cut off the fat, extra fat that I don't want, and get them a little bit more sandwich shaped. Okay, so next, these are the ingredients we're going to be using for our brine for the chicken. So we're going to be using buttermilk, eggs, Louisiana hot sauce, Cajun seasoning, whichever one you like, and then some pickle juice. So I'm gonna go in with probably about 2 cups of the buttermilk. We're gonna be going in with the pickle juice. Make sure no pickles get in there. That's probably about a little close to a half a cup. Okay, so I am going to be making a different batter for the spicy and the regular chicken sandwich, but I'm going to be using some Louisiana in the brine for both of them. It's not going to be too spicy on either of them, it's just going to give it a good kick. I'm probably going to be using about 1/4 of a cup, probably a little less. It's really just however much you guys want to add. And then I'm probably going to go in with about 2 tablespoons of the Cajun seasoning. Alright, and then I'm using 2 eggs. I'm putting them in a separate bowl and then just going to whisk them and add them in there. And now that I've fully whisked the eggs, I'm just going to add them into the batter, or the brine I should say. Okay, I'm going to go in with a tiny bit more pickle juice. Alright, and now that I have it all evenly whisked, I'm going to be adding in the chicken into the brine. Alright, and now that the chicken is in the brine, I'm going to put it in my refrigerator. You can really put it in there for as much time as you have. 30 minutes overnight. Obviously the longer the better, but it really is just however much time you have. Okay, so now I'm going to be making the Chick-fil-A sauce. So for that, we're going to be using mayo, any kind. I'm going to be using a sweet barbecue sauce. This one has hickory and brown sugar, which is perfect. Any type of sweeter barbecue sauce will work. I'm going to be using regular mustard. I was going to use a little bit of Dijon, but I'll just go in with the regular mustard. Some honey, some of that Cajun seasoning. We're going to be using that a lot in this. And then just some lemon juice. And the servings on this really just depends on how much sauce you want to make. I'm going to be probably making, that's probably what, like 1.5 cups of mayo. We're going to go in with the barbecue sauce, probably about 1/4 as much of that. And of course, you can always experiment with how you like it, add more of anything if you want to. And about the same amount of mustard as barbecue, a little bit less. And then we're going to go in with some honey. Probably going to do 1/2 tablespoon of honey. And then go in with the lemon juice, probably about 1/2 tablespoon. And then some of that Cajun seasoning. Please, however much as you like. This is optional. I just like the taste of it. I'm going to add a little bit more barbecue sauce to this. Not much. I'm just trying to get a little bit more color. Honey. All right, and I added a little bit more barbecue sauce, mustard, and honey. All right, and now let's test it, see how you like it, add more of anything. That's pretty close. That tastes really good. No, this is gonna be super good with the chicken sandwiches. All right, and so now I'm gonna set this aside and work on the dry batter for the chicken. This actually tastes like really similar. Like this is good. Oh my, that is good. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. So for the ingredients for the dry batter, we are going to be using flour, powdered sugar, and cornstarch for both the regular and the spicy chicken sandwich. And then pretty much we're going to be using all the same seasonings for both as well, except for the spicy, I'm going to be using the cayenne and the chili powder. And at the end, I'm also going to be doing a spicy glaze on the spicy chicken sandwich as well. But for the seasonings for both, I'm going to be using sea salt, Cajun seasoning, mustard powder, some Lawrys, onion powder, garlic, and some smoked paprika. All right, so in my bowl right here, I mixed together pretty much a close to 1-to-1 ratio of the flour and the cornstarch. I did about 2 cups of flour and about probably like 1 3/4 cups of the cornstarch, maybe 1.5 cups. And then I also added in about 3 tablespoons of the powdered sugar. So that is gonna give it that sweetness that we all know Chick-fil-A sandwiches have. It's really just gonna give it that good flavor. Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna add in a little bit more of that powdered sugar. So then I'm gonna add in the seasonings that we're gonna be using for both of the chicken sandwiches. I'm probably gonna end up using about a little close to a tablespoon of each, honestly. So I'm gonna go in with that Cajun seasoning. Sea salt. And then I know we just added in some sea salt, but I am gonna go in with some Lawrys seasoning salt, just for that extra flavor. And then I'm gonna go in, open this onion powder. All right. Oh, onion powder smells way better than onions. I'm gonna go in generously with the garlic, smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika because honestly, it really doesn't have that much flavor, but it gives an amazing smell, like smoked paprika, not regular paprika. And like it makes the color so much better on everything. Now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of mustard powder, not a lot. Not as much as the other ones, probably about half as much. So I'm gonna mix that up. So that is the finished batter for the regular chicken sandwich, but we're gonna equally spread them out into 2 separate ones. That's gonna be the regular, and I'll do the spicy in that one. And in the spicy one, I'm gonna be going in with chili powder, and then some of that cayenne. All right, y'all, so I took out the chicken that has been resting in the brine out of the refrigerator. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it straight out, don't let too much of it drip off. We're gonna put it in, we're first gonna do our regular chicken sandwiches. And then we're gonna set it aside while our frying oil finishes heating up to 350 degrees. Okay, and we are going to double coat it in the batter as well. So I'm gonna take our first piece of chicken, put it straight into our flour. And make sure you press it down into the flour. We want every side of it coated, a nice even layer. You don't want any part of it to still be wet. Okay, so now that I got that first even layer, I'm gonna dip it back in the brine, and then we're gonna put it back in the flour. And now that it is evenly coated in the flour for the second time, we're gonna put it aside and repeat with the rest of the regular chicken sandwich breasts. Okay, so now that we have our regular chicken breast fully coated, we're gonna do the spicy batter now. So I have the last pieces in here. I'm just gonna do the exact same thing, put it in the dry batter, repeat in the wet dry batter, ready for frying. So, like I said. wet. And then in the dry. Like I said, don't be scared to press it too hard. It's just packing in that flour that's gonna help it give a really nice crunch. All right, so now that I have all of our chicken breasts evenly coated, we have the regular and the spicy that are ready to go in the fryer. I've been heating up a big pot of frying oil to 350 degrees, and we're just gonna be cooking them until they are nice and crunchy and an internal temp of 165. Now in my pot, I have the oil heated to 350 degrees, and just my warning, do not fill the pot with too much oil. I did it about halfway right now because when you add the chicken, it's gonna start boiling and you don't want it to go over and cause a terrible fire and all that. So I'm gonna do it in batches. Definitely don't do more than 1 to 2 at a time. I'm gonna add 1, maybe add 2. But I am going to cook it in batches, so I'm going to do the regular first and then the spicy after. I'm going to go in with the first piece of chicken and lay it away from you as you put it in the oil so you won't splash yourself. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to go in with 1 at a time because my pot is kind of small. But if you have a bigger one, you can do 2 at a time. Just please do not put too much oil in it. Alright y'all, so it's been in there about 3 minutes so far. I'm really just going to flip it and turn it over. You really don't need to. I just want to make sure all sides are getting evenly browned. But in total, I'm probably going to have it in there about like 7 minutes. You don't want to overcook the chicken, of course, but you don't want dry chicken, and you also don't want pink undercooked chicken. That both are a no-no. Alright, so it's been in there about 7 minutes. That is what she's looking like. I'm just going to put her aside to strain. And double frying it is, of course, welcome. Just don't overcook the chicken. I might do that on a couple pieces. Just definitely don't want to overcook it so it's dry. Chick-fil-A don't got shit on me. Alright, and we got our second piece of chicken coming out. Woo. So I finished frying our regular chicken sandwiches, and they are looking beautiful. So now I'm just letting the oil heat back up before I put in the spicy. So now I'm going to go in with our spicy. Alright y'all, so we finally finished with all of the chicken breasts. We got the spicy on this side and the regular right here. Y'all, they look so beautiful and it smells so good in here. So now the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to toast the buns, and I'm going to add that spicy glaze on top of the spicy chicken sandwiches. Alright y'all, so before we start assembling our sandwiches, I made a little rub of, this is cayenne, chili, and some of that Cajun seasoning. And so I have reserved about 3/4 of a cup of that hot oil, and I'm just going to put it in with the seasoning. Now this is kind of what they do for Nashville hot chicken, but I'm basically just gonna glaze it over the spicy chicken sandwiches to give it that extra kick. And now that it is evenly combined, and make sure that the oil absorbed all that seasoning. Alright, and for some reason I can't find my regular soft bristle brush, so I'm going to be using a barbecue brush. It really doesn't matter. Go in with that glaze. I'm just going to go over the top of the spicy chicken sandwich. Other side too. So we are finally ready to assemble our sandwiches, and so I toasted the buns by just putting a little bit of butter on them, putting them on the pan, just give them a little bit of crispiness so it can hold that chicken and it won't just be all soggy. And I have that Chick-fil-A sauce that we made earlier, and I'm first going to do a light layer on the bottom. Really just use as much as you like. No, I like sauce, so. Alright, so now that I have an even layer of sauce down, I'm going to go in with my pickles. Could not forget. And honestly, as many as you want if you like pickles. And I'm gonna go in with the chicken. Alright, and then I'm gonna go in with a nice layer of sauce on the top. All right, y'all, so we are finally finished, and oh my gosh, they look so beautiful, y'all. This is gonna be so delicious, and that sauce, I am so excited to dig in and eat this, y'all. I think I won this against Chick-fil-a, y'all. Chick-fil-A ain't got nothing on me. These look so good. And basically like a Nashville version of the spicy chicken sandwich. Yeah, definitely me for the win, y'all. But please let me know if you tried this recipe down below. Let me know what y'all thought of it if you tried it. And let me know if I won against Chick-fil-A. I definitely did. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the rest of my videos. Bye, y'all.